Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will talk about how you can create a database. Before we proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell notification icon and select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. And before we proceed ahead, there are some points to be remembered. Please watch the video till the end to gain better clarity of the concept. If possible, please watch this video twice and perform the exercises in your lab environment. And we would like to know your thoughts regarding our videos, so please share your comments. Now let's come back to the topic, that is how you can create a database inside SQL Server. So let me quickly take you to my notes. So there are some points which need to be taken care of before you start creating any database. So basically the create database statement should run in the auto commit mode, that is the default transaction management mode. And we should not be running this create database statement inside explicit or implicit transaction mode. So running this statement inside the explicit or the implicit transaction mode is not allowed. If you want to know what is the explicit and implicit transaction modes are, you may watch out my other videos in the video section of my YouTube channel. There are specific some videos related to the transactions, so that will give more clarity to you regarding what are explicit transaction and implicit transaction. And you should always backup master database whenever you create, modify, or delete a database. So that's a requirement. And third point is that while creating database, make sure the data files are as large as possible based on the maximum amount of data we expect in the database. So at the time of creating the database, it is a requirement to make sure that data file should be as large as possible based on the maximum amount of data you expect in the database. Otherwise, you need to constantly keep on expanding your database file at regular intervals. So it is always suggested to make your files as large as possible in the first attempt itself. The fourth point is, in order to create a user database, create database permission is required in the master database. So this permission is required, create database permission on the master database, or it requires the create any database or alter any database permissions. Now let's discuss about how you can create a database using the SQL Server Management Studio, or how you can create a database using T-SQL statements. Now let me take you to SQL Server. Let me close this off, and we are connected to the default instance of SQL Server. So I'm right clicking on a database and doing a new database statement. So in order to create a database, on the left hand side you need to right click on a database, click on the new database option. That will open up a new database dialog box. So first of all, what we do is we enter the database name over here, which I'm not doing here because we will show you how you can create a database using T-SQL sometimes. Otherwise, if you want to do it through SQL Server Management Studio, you must put a database name here. Just give a database name, and rest are all the default values. You can click OK after that. That will create your database with the default option. So default option indicates a primary file with 8 MB size, initial size with 64 MB auto growth, and the max size is unlimited, and same goes for log files. So if you just enter the name and click OK, it will create a database with all the default options. So we can change here the values of the primary data file and transaction files in the database files grid. So we can add some of the information here, which we'll cover in the next video. And similarly, we can also change the collation of the database. So collation can be changed from the options tab. So if you come over here, here are many of the collations given over here. So if you want your database to use a specific collation, you can select it from here. I will make another video on collations to provide more clarity what they are. Now, what after collisions? We can talk about the recovery model. We can select the recovery model of the database, full, bulk load, or simple. Changing these options will affect how you have to take the database backups and recovery. And this affects the database backups and recovery. So for more details, you can watch my database backup and recovery videos. What this recovery model plays a significant role over there. So, all right, these are some of the options we have covered. Similarly, there's a section for file groups where we just have the primary file group over here. A file group is basically a collection of files. We can put files under a certain file group. So we can create additional file groups from here. Basically, these are created to manage files as a group. So alright, a new file group can be added from here. Alright, I think rest is okay. Nothing more to be discussed over here. Now let's go to transact SQL. Let's create a new query, and the worldwide importers database is selected. Now what we will do, we will create a database over here, which we will call sampledb. So let's select master because we have to create a new database. Now you can type these statements along with me. I'm creating a sampledb. So in order to create a database, you use the create database statement, and you need to provide the name of the database. Here we are using sample database. Then we need to provide the on keyword and provide the details of the database inside the curly braces, not curly braces, the usual brackets. So here we specify the name of the database file, the logical name. So let's name it as sample gb dat. So this is the logical name of the file, and need to provide the physical name of the file. We use the file name option. So let's provide the name of the file. We need to specify the location. So let me show you the location. So at our MS SQL folder, this is the location. You have a data folder. Under that we can create the file. So copy this location out and paste it here. So this is the exact location. Under that we want to name our file as, let me see what file name has to be given. So let's make it as sampledb .mdf. That is the name of our file. Alright, let's put a comma. We need to provide the next option. Next option is what's the initial size of the file you want to mention. So let's take it as 10 MB. Then you can specify the max size. Here I'm specifying it as 50 MB. Next is we can specify the file growth percentage. So after filling in 10 MB, how in what intervals or by what quantum it should grow, we specify it here. So we want to expand it by 5%. Now this is the, we have given definition for the main primary data file. Now we need to specify the information about log file for this database. So you need to specify the logon keyword over here, and under logon you need to provide the same options. So let me copy this out and paste it here instead of typing it all over again. So this is the log file. So let me make it log, and size I'm making it a little smaller, 5 You can also specify in terms of MB here instead of just specifying the numbers. So I'm marking it specifically as MBs, and want to name this file as simpledb log.mdf. So log file has the LDF extension, not the MDF. So the primary data files have MDF extension, but the log data files has LDF extension. So yeah, that's it. Let's execute this statement to create our simpledb database. So the database is created. If you right click on database and refresh it, you will see a simpledb database with these properties. In order to check those properties, you can go to properties and you could go to the file section. So it shows us our logical name of the file, simpledb dat, primary file. The actual physical file is this, simpledb dat.mdf. This is the physical file name for the log data file, simpledb log.ldf. This is the logical name, and sizing options are given over here. This is the initial size, 10 MB for primary data file, 5 MB for log data file. Auto growth specifications are given here. It will increase by 5 MB. Both can be increased by 5 MB. One can be increased till 50 MB. The other one can be increased till 25 MB. So that's it. I hope you get the idea of how you can create the databases, both using the SQL Server Management Studio and the transaction or transact SQL, basically the transact SQL statements. You can practice this in your lab environment. All right, I hope you like this video. If you really like this video, please hit on the like button and do post your comments. Please subscribe to my channel, hit on the bell notification icons to get notifications regarding all my future videos, and please share this video with your friends in case you find this video useful for them. I thank you once again for your time. You have a wonderful day ahead.